Forget Jeff Bezos. Forget Elon Musk. The richest person in history wasn't a modern billionaire. He was an African emperor who had so much gold that he crashed entire economies. This is the story of Mansa Musa, the richest man who ever lived. Mansa Musa was the ruler of the Mali Empire, located in what is now West Africa. He wasn't just any ruler, he was a man of such immense wealth that he made Scrooge McDuck look like a frugal spender. We're not talking about a handful of gold coins. We're talking about so much gold that his very presence caused inflation wherever he went. Mansa Musa was the original influencer. He could stroll into a market, toss around so much gold that the price of goods would skyrocket for months. But he wasn't just about flaunting his riches. He was also a devout Muslim who embarked on a pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324. A journey so grand it puts modern backpacking trips to shame. He traveled with an entourage and brought so much gold that he needed an entire team of camels to carry it. Can you imagine being that rich? But Mansa Musa wasn't just a showman. He was a patron of Islam, building mosques and madrasas, Islamic schools, across his empire. He was a true leader, both in his realm and in the wider Islamic world. So buckle up as we travel back in time to an era of camels, gold, and Islamic scholarship. Mansa Musa's story is one for the ages, and we're about to uncover all the fascinating details. Mansa Musa was born into a wealthy family in 1280. His father was the ruler of the Mali Empire, one of the most powerful and prosperous empires in West Africa at the time. Though not the firstborn son, Mansa Musa's intelligence and charm quickly made him a favorite of his father and the people. From a young age, Mansa Musa was educated in Islamic teachings, law, history, and administration. He was a quick learner, showing immense promise early on. However, his path to the throne wasn't without challenges. When his father died in 1312, the empire was thrown into turmoil. Several contenders vied for the throne, and Mansa Musa's older brother was initially chosen as ruler. Unfortunately, his brother proved to be an ineffective leader and was eventually overthrown by Mansa Musa himself. Now, overthrowing your own brother might not seem like the most honorable move, but Mansa Musa did it with style. He gathered loyal followers, staged a successful coup, and declared himself the new ruler of the Mali Empire. It's like something out of Game of Thrones, but with less drama and more gold. Once in power, Mansa Musa wasted no time consolidating his rule and expanding the empire's territory. He was a savvy leader who understood the importance of controlling the empire's vast resources, particularly its gold mines. He also strengthened the military and established trade relationships with neighboring kingdoms. But Mansa Musa wasn't just a conqueror. He was a wise and just ruler who implemented reforms to improve the lives of his people. He reduced taxes, promoted education, and established a justice system based on Islamic law, bringing stability to the empire. Of course, his reign wasn't without challenges. He faced rebellions and attacks from neighboring kingdoms, but his diplomatic skills allowed him to negotiate peace treaties and maintain stability. Mansa Musa's rise to power was a testament to his intelligence, charisma, and leadership. He wasn't afraid to take risks, and he had a deep sense of responsibility to his people. And let's not forget, he had a crown so dazzling it could rival any superheroes. How did he become rich? Let's put things into perspective. Mansa Musa wasn't just rich, he was, I could buy a small country and still have enough left for a cappuccino rich. Estimates place his net worth at around $400 billion in today's dollars. More than Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk. And let's be honest, none of them have a name as cool as Mansa Musa. So how did he amass such wealth? For starters, the Mali Empire controlled key trade routes for gold and salt, two of the most valuable commodities at the time. Gold, in particular, was the ultimate flex. Mansa Musa had access to vast gold mines and controlled the flow of gold in and out of the empire. He also established strong trade relationships with neighboring kingdoms, further boosting his wealth. But Mansa Musa wasn't content to hoard his riches like a dragon. He was a generous leader who used his wealth to benefit his people and spread the word of Islam. This brings us to his famous pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage wasn't just a religious journey, but a spectacle of wealth and power. He traveled with a caravan of thousands, including soldiers, scholars, and slaves. He brought an estimated 60,000 pounds of gold, which he distributed generously along the way. His generosity was so extravagant that it caused inflation in the regions he passed through. Imagine giving away so much gold that you destabilize an economy. Mansa Musa wasn't just generous, he was history's most lavish philanthropist. And he did it all while wearing a fancy robe and turban, making an entrance that no one could forget. But his pilgrimage wasn't just about showing off. Mansa Musa was a devout Muslim who built mosques and madrasas along his route. He hired Islamic scholars to teach and spread the religion, and he made significant donations to centers of learning like the University of Sankore in Timbuktu. His journey also had diplomatic purposes. He met with rulers from Egypt, Arabia, and other regions, exchanging gifts and establishing trade relationships. However, his generosity had unintended consequences. When he passed through Egypt, he gave away so much gold that it caused a temporary economic crisis. Prices soared and the economy was thrown into chaos. Despite these hiccups, Mansa Musa's pilgrimage cemented his reputation as one of the most powerful and generous leaders of his time. It also spread Islam throughout West Africa and put the Mali Empire on the global map. After his pilgrimage, Mansa Musa's fame only grew. He was known across the Islamic world as a generous patron, a savvy diplomat, and a shrewd businessman. But his wealth wasn't just a source of pride, it was also a burden. He had to constantly manage and protect his vast resources while navigating the complex political landscape of West Africa. Throughout his reign, Mansa Musa continued to expand the Mali Empire's territory and influence. He built mosques, supported Islamic scholarship, and established Timbuktu as a major center of learning and culture. However, his rule wasn't without flaws. He enforced strict Islamic laws which could be harsh, and he sometimes favored loyalists over others. Despite these imperfections, Mansa Musa remains an iconic figure in African and Islamic history. He was a visionary leader who used his wealth and power to benefit his people and promote the growth of Islam. Mansa Musa's reign ended with his death in 1337. He was succeeded by his son Mansa Musa, who struggled to maintain the empire's glory. Over time, the Mali Empire faced droughts, rebellions, and attacks, eventually declining by the 16th century. Yet Mansa Musa's legacy endures. He is remembered as a wise and just ruler, a generous patron of Islam, and a symbol of Africa's rich cultural heritage. His pilgrimage to Mecca remains one of history's most legendary journeys, and his reputation as the wealthiest person of all time continues to captivate imaginations. In the end, Mansa Musa's story reminds us of the power of great leadership the richness of Africa's history and the importance of generosity, diplomacy, and wisdom in shaping the world. His golden legacy lives on, inspiring generations to come. The past holds incredible stories waiting to be uncovered. If you want more legendary histories told like never before, subscribe now.